So about an hour ago, Bash in Berlin happened, and this is my Bash in Berlin review of the PLE. Welcome to Reese Talks Wrestling. This is where we talk wrestling about every week. We try to give you a Friday Night SmackDown review, a Raw review, and a review on every PLE that happens. We try to weekly here on this channel. If you guys are new to this channel, make sure you subscribe. Comment down below what your favorite match was. And if the match gets a check, that means I like the story told and I like the match result and what happened in the match. If it gets an X, that means I didn't approve of either the story being told or whatnot, or I just thought it was bad overall in terms of it as a collective. That kind of simplifies how the review system is going to work from now on. With that being said, let's come for what you're here for. Let's review Bash in Berlin as it was 2 hours ago. The PLE Bash in Berlin. Y'all know what I'm saying. This PLE kicks off with the WWE Universal Championship match between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. Now, the way that this story unfolds throughout the weeks prior to this was that Cody Rhodes thought Kevin Owens was deserving of a title match for helping him out against the Bloodline. However, Kevin Owens didn't think that he earned the opportunity. So, with that being said, Cody Rhodes would continue every week to kind of push Kevin Owens to get into that mindset that he does deserve this opportunity. And there was a point in time in which Cody's leg got hurt, his knee got hurt, and Kevin Owens accepted the opportunity. However, he did not want to fight Cody Rhodes with a bad knee because he didn't want it to taint his victory. And this will play a pivotal role in the match later on. So this match is exactly what you think it is. It's a banger. It kicks off great. It starts off great. However, Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens, it gets to a point, I think Cody Rhodes goes for one of his, I forgot what move it's called, but he goes for one of his signature moves, and his knee, he feels the pain. He drops on his knee, and he's on the floor, writhing in pain. And Kevin Owens could see this as an opportunity to attack. However, he doesn't. He just looks off in frustration, and he's upset because this is exactly why he didn't want to fight Cody Rhodes in the first place. So this is the story that they're telling. They're saying Cody Rhodes has an injury, and Kevin Owens already was in a position where he felt like he didn't deserve this match. Because he already feels like he doesn't deserve this match, and the person who he's fighting is injured, he doesn't want this to taint his win at all. So he doesn't attack the knee. And he tries to have a fair match just as much as possible. Actually, there's multiple spots on where Kevin Owens could do some really heel-like, evil-like things to Cody Rhodes, and he doesn't have the opportunity. And stuff like that, that's completely legal. That wouldn't disqualify him of the match at all. Now, again, before this, the story is being told that Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes, they're boys. Cody wants Kevin to have this opportunity. Kevin doesn't feel like he's deserving of it. And it gets tense coming up this past SmackDown. And he even asked Kevin Owens before, are we going to be friends after this match? And throughout the match, you could see that Kevin Owens is trying to play this as safe as possible and still as clean as possible. And many people thought there was supposed to be a heel turn during this match. And honestly, I thought so too. However, there wasn't. At the end of the match, obviously, Cody retained the title. But Kevin Owens, he raises Cody's hand, and we're all thinking heel turn, heel turn. No, there is no heel turn. There is nothing of that sort. It was very questionable, but there was no heel turn. Kevin Owens stayed a face, and it ended up being an even match, and they shook hands and hugged and all that and went off in their own separate ways. Now, again, I am still a fan of this match, and I am a fan of the result of the match. It gets a check for me. However, I feel like there was something missing. I feel like at the end, there should have been a heel turn on Kevin Owens, or we should have had some kind of seeds plan like, hey, it might not be tonight, but Kevin Owens is turning. He's not 100% the same Kevin Owens he was acting towards to Cody for the past few weeks they've been feuding with the Bloodline. The next match on the card was Bianca and Jade versus the Unholy Union for the Women's Tag Championships. Now, this match, we're not going to cover it for long because there's not much to cover about it. It was a pretty decent match, and it was a very cool spots from Bianca and Jade, of course, the superstars that they are. However, it ended the exact way you expected it to, with Bianca and Jade winning the championships again. Now, Bianca and Jade never got pinned for the championships, but they did lose it in a triple threat tag team match. However, this is their chance to get it back, and that's exactly what they did. And I feel like that was the right decision, and the match wasn't bad. The Unholy Union, they are a very young, talented team, but their mic skills aren't there, their personas aren't there, and you can kind of tell that they don't click with the fans like that. Matter of fact, I feel like if you asked any big WWE fan on who the current women's tag champions are, it would probably take them a second just because they're not on TV a lot, and if they are on TV, it's not the most entertaining thing. I feel like Bianca and Jade having these belts could elevate the women's tag division if they are booked right. They didn't do it before, and I feel like this is Triple H's second chance to do it again, and I think he should do it the right way. I would say do it again, but he didn't do it before. He should be able to book these two women who are superstars in this business to elevate other tag teams and then eventually lead to their split in their feud that we all want to see. We all want to see Bianca versus Jade of WrestleMania in the near future. But with that being said, the match was pretty decent and the result was great. It gets a check for me. Now, I could be mistaken here, but I do believe that the next match on the card was the Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk match. I don't know if it happens after the next match I'm going to review or before, but the CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre match was exactly what you thought it was going to be. It was amazing. Now, I wasn't a fan of it being a strap match. I kind of didn't want a stipulation on it. I was like, I wanted to save the stipulation for Hell in a Cell, which they probably still are going to do at Bad Blood. But this match was, I dare say, perfect. I dare say perfect. These two tore the roof down, and they always do it. At first, I was really getting bored of this feud. And one thing about WWE talent today is that you can talk about the character work all you want to, but they can ball. They can go in the ring. It's straight graps. I mean, it's amazing. It was an amazing match. I loved almost every single second of this match. They both performed well. It starts off, CM Punk gets a pop from the crowd. I was surprised Drew McIntyre didn't get a pop from the crowd, but everything that Drew McIntyre did definitely got a reaction in terms of what he did in ring. He attacked CM Punk before the match starts. They put on the straps. I mean, great spots everywhere. Tables. CM Punk got slammed through this table. Again, Drew McIntyre attacking him before the match, clearing out the announcer area, and they're using ring posts. CM Punk slammed Drew McIntyre in the ring post. There was a spot where Drew McIntyre set up a chair and CM Punk countered and threw him into it. They were beating each other with the strap. And again, the whole point of a strap match is that they are strapped up to each other with like a leather belt. They are connected, and whoever can, while the opponent has to be dang near incapacitated, and you have to tap every single four corners of the ring to get the victory, and consecutively, of course. And this match was just, it was timed perfectly. The pacing was great. I thought that the pacing was the big issue that I thought was going to be the problem. The pacing was great. Almost a perfect match all throughout. It was amazing. I don't have any bad thing to say. CM Punk ties the Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk series 1-1. I believe that this feud will end at Bad Blood and they will go separate ways, or maybe not completely separate ways, but it will definitely be a minute before then till we get another CM Punk Drew McIntyre match. This match was everything that it needed to be. These two always put on a great match when they're in the ring together. It was perfection. With that being said, the next match that I want to talk about, I didn't have, oh, by the way, it was a check mark for the last match. I'm sorry about that. But the next match that I have to talk about, I wasn't personally a fan of, and of course we'll get into why right now. So the next match on the card was a mixed tag team match between Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley versus the Women's World Champion on Raw, Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio. So now we have a very dominant tag team of a former Women's World Champion and a former Men's World Champion versus the current Women's Champion and a heel that's kind of gaggy, if you know what I mean, in terms of like a gag character or whatnot, somebody who's always getting beat up or something of that sort. You have a very, very clear, stronger side, because even Liv Morgan isn't posed as a very strong Women's World Champion, which she should be, but that's besides the point. Again, I do not like how Dominic has been being portrayed, but let's get into the match. The match just, it starts off and it ends with Dom and Liv getting completely dominated overall. The match starts off with Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley just tearing down house. They're basically beating up Dom and Liv. Dom and Liv are running around all over the place trying to escape getting beat up, and that's what I didn't like. I'm completely fine with you saying, hey, Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest are stronger, because that's what they are supposed to be. That's how they've been portrayed to us. That's how they look. They're just bigger. They're just stronger and faster. They're better athletes. But when you have somebody whose family is so endeavored into this business, like Dominic Mysterio, who's basically his uncle, some people joke and call him his father, Eddie Guerrero, lived off of lying, cheating, and stealing, you would think that they would find some type of conniving, and he's a part of a cheating heel faction like the Judgment Day. You would think they would find some sneaky way to pull out the win, which they should have. We need momentum for Dominic Mysterio mainly, but also Dom and Liv. Again, this is a completely new Judgment Day, and we already know how strong Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley are. We don't need a reiteration that, hey, they are super strong. Watch them take down their old teammates. Watch them 2v5 an entire team. That's ridiculous. These guys are still in the ring competing. They aren't jobbers. They aren't security. One of them is the Women's World Champion. They shouldn't be treated as a joke. This is my issue with this match, is that, yes, I do think that in terms of his physical appearance, Dominic Mysterio is less physically scary than a Damian Priest. And on top of that, Damian Priest is a former world champion, He should be taken way more serious than Dominic. He should be portrayed as stronger. However, that does not stop the fact that Dominic Mysterio should be kind of using ropes, finding sneaky little ways to cheat and get his way into getting victories. And this should have been one of them. This isn't a one-on-one match against Damian Priest. This is a tag team match, a mixed tag team match that honestly they should have won. Dom and Liv should have won in terms of just the booking and storytelling. However, as you can tell by how frustrated I am a little bit, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, they end up winning. And it's ridiculous to me because the Judgment Day came out and helped them. They 2v5'd them. I feel like you're overbooking these matches, and on top of overbooking the matches, you're having the wrong person win. This match gets an X from me. I really want Dominic Mysterio to be known as a threat in the sense of, hey, yes, you might not be physically strong, but you can still get a win if you cheat your way to it, which you consistently do. And I want him to eventually get into shape so he can't be strong, just like Eddie Guerrero, but he's still line cheating his way throughout victories and makes him even more dangerous. If this is going to be the future of your company, one of the future stars of the company, I have to believe it. I just don't believe it with Dominic Mysterio right now. I don't even believe he can compete for a mid-card title, and that's not good. And on top of that, it does make Liv Morgan look weak, and she is the Women's World Champion. Eventually, I don't know what the end goal is either, because I don't want Rhea to get the title back. I don't want Damian Priest to... What does Damian Priest do when this is all said and done? Does he get a new group? What happens? Again, I don't like what they're doing. If they're going to bring back mixed tag teams, and that's fine, but we need to have these heels start getting wins so they can actually feel like threats when beaten, because now it just feels like Rhea Ripley, even rip-tiding Dominic during the match. It feels like the betrayed brother and sister just beating up the school bullies. That's exactly what these matches feel like. I don't like it. It's exactly what the segments feel like. I don't like it. This gets an X for me. Okay, with that being said, let's get into the main event, which was Gunther versus Randy Orton. And there's not much to say here. It was a classic match. I mean, you already knew when Gunther and Randy Orton step into the ring, an all-time great versus somebody who's going to become an all-time great. It was exactly what you thought it was. I mean, they put on a classic. The spots were amazing. Randy Orton, at first it started off very slow and tactical. I actually got a little sleepy because I was at work late, and then I woke up on my normal time. So throughout this match, with how slow the pace was going, I did get a little tired. But again, you understand why it's like that. These are two very tactical guys. However, Randy Orton did something that they didn't do in their King of the Ring match. He started going outside, using outside stuff like tables and whatnot. And it got to a point where these two kept so smart, they kept breaking the count, but the ref was going really, really slow, just letting them wrestle. And I like how they're putting an emphasis on sort of the legitimacy of the product, saying that the ref sometimes just allows them to fight because he understands there's people there. That's stuff that I like. That's like stuff that Michael Cole and Wade Barrett are pointing out that I really enjoyed. Overall, this match was amazing. The spots were great. The table spots were great. And the story being told here was very simple. It was your basic wrestling story of the new generation, the new star, even though he's 37 years old, the new superstar who's taking over the company versus the one with a I wouldn't say Randy Orton has a foot out the door, but he's at least jogging his way or speed walking his way out the door soon. And I do believe Randy has like a cool 5 years left on him. But again, in those 5 years, then Gunther might be in Randy's spot where he's at right now. Again, this is stuff that I love to see, these simple stories that make championships feel like championships. These two really felt like they were fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship. It wasn't any friendship. I'm not saying the Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens match was bad, but you could see the difference between these two respecting each other as competitors. They aren't really buddy-buddy versus Cody and Kevin Owens match where they were really buddy-buddy and friends. This was a match between two competitors who respected each other but understood the job has to get finished, and I loved it. I loved how legit this match felt. The blows that Gunther gave Randy with the chops and whatnot, it was this match was amazing. It was everything that you expected this match to be. It gets a check. There's not much for me to say besides watch this match. The table spots, the outside the ring they really focused on Randy's back and Gunther's shoulder, and the way this match ended with Gunther putting Randy in the sleeper hold, and Randy fights out and he gets a break, and then Gunther, just based off his youth and having less miles in the ring than Randy, being able to sprout back up, put him back in the sleeper hold, multiple chops and elbow shots to the neck of Randy, keeping him pinned down. It was amazing. I loved almost every single second of that match. It was just watch. That's all I can say. Some matches that I can't, a review doesn't do it justice. Just watch the match. It was that good. With that being said, of course, it gets a check for me. And overall, I rate the card personally like an 8.5 out of 10. I feel like because of the amount of people that Judgment Day segment kind of messed up, that's why I'm rating. I took like a whole rating and a half away. Again, this match, PLE, amazing PLE, borderline great. The crowd was, of course, y'all know how international crowds do. They blew it out the park. The chants, the screams, the pops, they were live. They made the match. I couldn't tell you a single word they were saying, but that doesn't matter. They were still saying stuff, and the fact that they're saying stuff matters. With that being said, this was my review of Bash in Berlin. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time.